Hey, what's going on, Creampires and Death to Fires? Co-host Mike here. I just want to start this episode a little differently with a PSA. First things first, I want to say the second half of this episode is going to be, the audio is not going to be the best because Dan decided to get with his diver buddies down in Honduras and do an impromptu interview. The content may be fire, but the audio is not, so blame Dan for that. And then also, we wanted to take this opportunity to announce that we have a winner of the Golden Cream Pie Contest, aka the Golden Ticket Contest, but Stedman decided to call it the Golden Cream Pie Contest. It is Jamie from Arizona. So Jamie from Arizona, you'll be getting your stuff here soon, and we're going to have her have a 10-15 minute guest spot on the show. Just kind of call in, talk about why she loves us, why she's obsessed with the show, why she's our biggest fan, all that stuff. So, yeah, so enjoy the episode, everybody.
Bucket of holes a hole, you know.
Love is love. How dare you?
The world has wrought this upon themselves. Welcome to episode 21 of the SmokePit.
Wah, wah, wah.
The fucking amazing podcast.
What a weird opening.
Globally syndicated.
That's right. Award-winning.
And we've won several awards.
Gluten-free.
Paternity lawsuits. Those are awards, right?
They're worth their weight in gold.
You have been awarded custody.
Motherfuck.
Yeah, how much do you think your life would change if you had a kid right now?
At this second?
Yeah. Like if there was a knock on the studio door and there was some gypsy looking lady.
Yeah.
And she had a little bundle.
Yeah. He just had really big pointy ears and obscure freckles. This is yours. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you look down, he's immensely pale and he's got a mini corn cob for a pacifier and you're like, okay, that's mine.
It's covered in tattoos. That is my child.
So how would your life change?
Oh, I don't know. I assume for the better. Probably give me a sense of purpose, goals, a sense of happiness and pride again. So probably be really bad for the content of the show.
No, so would you ever consider adopting?
I have thought about that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
If the situation is right, maybe you meet somebody who already has a family and you consolidate that way. I was adopted and I've given a lot of good thought to that.
Yeah, no, 100%. I feel adoption is definitely the way to go.
Yeah. See, if I had a kid right now, man, I don't think that'd be fucking good.
Yeah.
I can barely take care of myself.
That's what I'm saying. I would have to become a mother overnight.
I'd be watching so many YouTube videos,
exactly, yeah.
How not to kill a child accidentally.
How to breastfeed.
Yeah, shout out to all those single parents out there.
For real, yeah.
that hold that shit down by themselves.
Yeah, no thank you.
Yeah, that's more than I am capable of dealing with.
1,000%, yes.
Yeah, so my name is Dan Sharp. I am the host of the podcast. My co-host, who
is burping.
Burping, as you will come to love if you listen to the show more. It's Mike Sensi.
Hello.
Mike fucking Sensi.
Mike fucking Sensi.
Our executive producer, called EP, to avoid confusion, is Mike Stedman. And you can find us all on Instagram.
All the social medias.
Yeah, all the social medias. Go follow them.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
Give us good reviews.
Well, if you just search Mike Sensi on Instagram, you're going to find a lot of fake profiles.
Yeah.
So have fun.
So we have 2 new sponsors for the show, and I think it's actually a really interesting topic because one's a nonprofit and one is actually not a real sponsor. It's just a product that I ugly laughed when I saw and I bought it.
So I assume you want to start with the product?
Yeah. Okay. Mike's Hot Honey.
Oh my god.
Wah, wah, wah.
That's a hot sauce he got for me, and he thinks it's the punniest thing ever.
Yeah, because it's Mike's Hot Honey.
Yeah.
And so if you've ever wanted Mike's Hot Honey to dribble down your lips and chin,
Jesus Christ,
you can buy it now.
Usually you just get it for free.
But now you can buy it.
Yeah,
FDA approved.
That's right.
Yeah.
So ridiculous. You're so proud of yourself.
I am so proud. Because
and
you hasn't even said thank you yet.
I did. That's the first thing I said.
No, you said, what the fuck is this?
Well, that's my thank you.
And so you weren't responding to the product because I woke you up from a drunk nap. So you were just a confused child, just confused to reality.
Just seeing shapes. The fuck is this?
Yeah, he's on the studio couch. I'm like, hey, Mike's time to record. He's like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, it's life. Calm down. Here you go. And I gave him a bottle and he just starts nursing on it.
Yeah, of Mike's Hot Honey.
Yeah, and so the second one is an organization that I actually just spent a week with on the island of Roatan in Honduras.
Let's hear about it.
Warfighter SCUBA.
Wah, wah, wah.
Yeah, and you can check them out at warfighterscuba.org. so they are an organization started by a former infantry marine, and it's to help combat wounded vets with either amputations or PTSD or whatever, and it's or whatever,
or whatever.
You stepped on a Lego, you're qualified.
Whatever ails you.
Yeah, whatever ails you. A woman broke your heart. Get your ass down here. And they are a fantastic organization. They help combat wounded vets. They bring them down to Honduras, this really cool island. And you do fucking scuba diving.
Yeah, absolutely.
So while I was down there, I got my certification for basic open water, nitrox, and advanced adventurer. Yeah. So legally, I am an advanced adventurer.
It's about fucking time.
Yeah, About time I have a permit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, because we had talked about this before, no bullshit. Like, I was thinking about changing my middle name to Danger.
It's true, yeah. You've thought it multiple times.
Yeah, and to the point where you were just like, I will fucking pay for it if you'll just shut up.
It's true. It's true. That's how most of our conversations end with that sentence.
Yeah, so we definitely look into that now.
Yeah.
But super fucking amazing experience. Like, my first thought was like, oh, Honduras, like murder capital of the world, right? Like, actually, I'm not gonna make that joke. That's very out of taste.
Ooh.
It was about you.
About me?
Yeah, but I'm trying to clean up my act.
I appreciate that. Well, now I want to know.
I'll tell you offline.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and if you want to know, just DM the page.
DM the page. Yeah,
There's like 6 people that I won't tell it to, though.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'll be like, oh, what do the ducks say to the waiter? Put it on my bill. And that'll be the joke.
Whew, we just lost so many listeners.
All right, so I get down there. Very small airport, but when you get off the plane, and it kind of reminded me a lot of when I was in Guantanamo Bay. It's right on the water, and beautiful views, and the rock structures and the wildlife and stuff are pretty much the same, because it's at like the very southwest bottom part of the Caribbean, or the Caribbean, if you're fancy.
Sure.
If you're Johnny Depp. Depending on how much rum you have, it starts at the beginning of the night, the Caribbean, and the Caribbean by the end of the night. And so it's a couple hundred miles, I think, south of Cancun. And so it's like right there in Central America. And it's very much a Central American island, but it's also got like a cool beach town vibe too.
Nice.
And so you could tell, like, you're in Central America. It was a little bit in the cut, and I was like, all right, cool.
Cool.
And I look over, and there's like, we stop at a gas station, was like a stone's throw away from the airport. And there's a guy sitting there. He's got this big pump action shotgun. And I tapped the guy who picked me up, Nick Powers, great guy, former Marine, the guy who started it. And I was like, Nick, like, well, what the fuck? Like, are we about to get robbed? He's like, no. Anywhere there's money, there's armed security. And he's like, that's why there's so little crime on the island, because they will just shoot you.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So all the bad guys have been killed. So it's a very safe island now.
Success.
Yeah, and also it's a huge tourist port. So the country wants to keep it safe for that revenue.
Yeah.
So anytime that there's like any hooligans,
right,
graffitiing or whatever, they literally send the special forces in there, El Tigre, and they sweep the fucking island and just blap blap.
Yeah.
And, no more graffiti.
Yeah. Did you pay for those Pringles?
And so the exchange rate was great. It was like 25 of their dollars to one of ours. And so it was like super cheap. Like I got a beer, a Red Bull, and like a bag of chips for like $2.
A Mike Cincy dinner.
Yeah, and so it was fucking amazing. And so we went diving, and just clear water, absolutely gorgeous. Like I can't talk up this place enough.
Nice.
So if you're combat wounded, check out Warfighter SCUBA. They're on social media as well. If you're not, please consider donating and supporting them. They treated me really well while I was down there.
Good.
I only got 3 fingers in the butt.
Exactly. Well, that's just customary.
Yeah, but see, like the thing is like there's a Japanese prank that's called concho. If our EP will stop making noise, you clasp your fingers together like this. And those of you who watch Naruto, I know what I'm talking about.
Right.
And when somebody bends over, you give them the 1,000 years of pain.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what it is, right in the butthole.
Wow.
And there's actually pictures here, and I'll pull it up while I'm talking, of me getting the concho. And so that was 2 fingers. So you might ask yourself, where did the 1 finger come in?
Exactly.
But that's for another episode.
Wow, so many secrets this year.
Yeah, so we get down there, and it was just so cool to be able to get in the water and use the gear and learn the skills and do like the immediate and remedial action drills. Like, what do you do if you lose your respirator, or if like you run out of air, or if something goes wrong, you know? And I'll pull that up later. I'm going to forget what I'm talking about. Yeah, so there's a few highlights, right?
Yeah.
And one of the ones is we went down to like 115 feet, and we scuba dived this shipwreck. Aguilar, I think it was the Eagle. You know, like,
okay.
like everything has really badass names.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And we swam through the shipwreck. It was just fucking awesome because, like, you know, who fucking gets to do that? And at this depth, you're breathing like 4 times the Earth atmosphere. Like, there's 4 times more pressure, so you're breathing 4 times as much air, basically.
Yeah.
And you know, so you have to be very, very cognizant of like your levels and your depth and your consumption and all that stuff. And so a lot goes into it. So it's like almost like a form of therapy, you know,
Nice.
like, well, not almost, but like meditation.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like you have to focus on your breathing. Because not to be dramatic, but like any breath could be your last.
100%.
You know, like if your gear fails or if you get stuck somewhere, like, you know, you have to swim to your buddy and like use their reserve. You know, like you have to be, you know, on the fucking ball.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's like a form of meditation. You know, just being down there. And so we're at like 100, 115 feet, and we see this fucking sea turtle. I'm like, all right, that's dope. So we went with the sea turtle.
Yeah.
We saw eagle rays, and, you know, I gave him a piece of my mind because what his cousin did to Steve Irwin, you know, the stingray bastards.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Steve. And, you know, we saw barracudas and eels and giant lobsters and shrimp, and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You know, it's the second largest coral reef system in the world, and it's the healthiest.
Nice.
So it's not as big as the Great Barrier Reef, but it's bigger than all the others, and it's healthier than the Great Barrier Reef. Beautiful. And then I ran to this other turtle like maybe 5 minutes later, and this one was an asshole. He started coming after me, and I was like, "Oh, get back, Mr. Turtle Man!
Yeah.
You need to get bit."
Turtles are known for being chill, so this is news to me.
Yeah, so this turtle was possibly a terrorist.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Okay. He had affiliation.
Those reports aren't confirmed yet, but I have my suspicions.
That's fair. That's
like
fair.
he had jihad in his eyes. You know, and I was like, "Get back."
Yeah.
And it's just sickening that these terrorist turtles, you know, target wounded veterans. You know, for
that is something that's not talked about enough.
Yeah, it's really not.
Yeah.
And so we also did a night dive where we, after we got all our certifications, we kind of went on like a little moto run, but in like dive form.
Oh, cool.
And we went through some coral reef tunnels at nighttime, which is fucking terrifying.
Yeah, that's scary. Yeah.
Yeah, we had like a Surefire, so it was like a horror movie, you know, because it's like all you hear is your breathing. It's like it's only Darth Vader's like,
yeah,
and like your single beam of light, and all these fucked up creatures like living in the coral, fish looking at you, fingers in your butt, like it's just wild.
1,000 years of pain.
Concho. And I get to this point where I'm like, wow, man, like I'm doing this, like I'm like 30, 40, 50 feet under at this point, you know, just going through these, you know, little coral reef tunnels, or it wasn't anything like super complex.
Yeah.
Or I wasn't like exploring uncharted area. Like I had dive masters and instructors with me. You know, it was a very charted course. It was straight line, and there were several breaks in the overhead. Yeah. So I got a lot of angry messages from fucking tryhards.
Really?
Yeah, like, oh, I fucking did scuba back in 2012, and you know, so you're an idiot. Yeah. I'm like, okay, dude, like, chill.
I once went underwater.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
I am currently taking a bath.
That's right.
Now my phone's ruined.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, man, like, wow, this is crazy. Like, there's people out there that like explore like deep shipwrecks or do like underwater welding.
Yeah. Or,
you know, they go tunnel exploring and they find like geological fucking gems that are important to like the knowledge of humanity, and, you know, like precious metals and artifacts, or, you know, remains of like sailors that, you know, they excavate, and now that person gets to be buried in their hometown, you know. And I was like, you know, it's like, I'm not scared at all. Like, it's a little scary at first, but now I've like coming into it, and I was like, maybe I could be this guy. Like, maybe I'm the guy that does this, you know. Like, and then I got stuck. And like I was like, nope, I'm not that guy. Like,
immediate panic.
And then, you know, sure enough, like I was like, okay, like, you know, I remember the brief, I remember the training, and so I just had to like shimmy my way through, and I was fine, you know.
Yeah.
And nobody even had to help me.
I just have this like thing of like Winnie the Pooh stuck. Like, your ass is just out.
Yeah, exactly like that. And so it was definitely interesting, because like your life is in your own hands at that point. If you come up too quickly, you can hurt yourself. If, you know, you get yourself fucking stuck, like you could get yourself injured, but then somebody tries to help you, can get them fucked up too.
Yeah.
And so other than that, it was a great experience, man. Like, I've been posting a lot of videos on my story. People find it pretty therapeutic.
No, I mean, the videos you posted look really, really beautiful.
Yeah, it was gorgeous, man.
Made me miss Hawaii. I used to spearfish, and yeah, just having that sense of freedom, and just like that little bit of fear, because it's the open ocean and it's the unknown, and yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like having unprotected sex with girls, you know.
It's just The bee's knees.
Yeah, it's like it feels amazing physically, but there's a little ting of danger there.
It shouldn't be tingling.
Yeah, so I've been trying to convince Mike to go get his certification so we can dive together.
I should, but in my defense, I'm lazy. I drink a lot and I forget. So
yeah, that's why I keep bothering you. So if you'd like to see Mike and I go scuba diving, visit MikeCreampiedMe.com.
Jesus Christ.
Buy yourself some Combat Combover Pomade with our discount code Creampie. Yeah, Creampie. And then send Mike an angry message with your new styled hair.
Exactly.
And hopefully he'll respect your drip so much because you'll be looking so good.
I do respect a good drip.
Yeah. The tingle.
The tingle. Ugh.
Yeah, and so your style will be on point, and so he'll respect you more, and then he and I can go scuba diving.
That's fair. This is all on you, people.
Yeah, it's all on you. We thought about asking EP Mike, but he's actually got a fear of shit underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't tell him this because I didn't want to get anxiety. I want to be able to see the fear in his eyes. But we were doing what's called a drift dive, where you like fuck off, and then like the boat comes and picks you up because you have to like put a buoy up. But you put the buoy up because there's other boats, and so you're like, for like a hot minute, this buoy's sticking out. Like, all right, hey, nobody fucking manatee us, nobody run us over.
Yeah.
And also with a lot of dives, you have to kind of do like a safety stop, so that way like the gases and shit, And so we're there doing our safety stop, and like all of a sudden I hear this boat, and I'm like, where the fuck is it? Like, where the fuck is it? And then I look at my dive calculator, my dive computer, and I was like, I need to fucking get down like deeper, like I don't know how fucking deep this person's like rotor or their thing goes. And so the idea, like, I didn't know where this fucking boat was, and that potentially this weird Honduran boat could decapitate me.
Yeah.
Even though I was probably safely underneath the water, and I had instructors that aren't gonna let me fucking kill myself.
Well,
but it was just a fear, I was like, oh god, like.
EP, could you do that? Could you do that?
Oh fuck no.
No.
But the water was so clear that like when we did the shipwreck, like as soon as we got in the water, like you could look down and you could see the boat underneath you like 90 feet.
Yeah.
Because it was a 230 foot long boat.
Damn.
And like the water was so fucking clear that like you could look out and just like see the expanse. And one of the coolest parts of the whole trip is we went to the edge of the seawall, and it's like where the coral reef kind of like died off, and then it was a steep drop, and then it was just like open fucking ocean.
That's dope.
And like I looked at that and I was like, man, that's where all the fucking sharks and giant squids and mermaids, and then, I swam out there and I was like, I'm going to find the mermaid cheeks. I'm going to clap them.
Yeah, that's right. Here I come.
I'm about to raid Area 51. I'm about to raid Atlantis.
Here I come, Ariel.
Everybody's cheeks getting clapped.
Exactly. Part of that world.
What is this called? And I'm like, it's called chlamydia.
Thingamabob? No, chlamydia, lady.
No, you really know.
You have chlamydia.
Yeah, seriously, you need to go get checked. But yeah, so I think that would be awesome to get an underwater GoPro and just watch EP just freak out.
Yeah, for sure.
Be like, what's that? What's that?
We should do that. We should do like our own kind of fear factors. So I can confront birds, he can confront the Drake depths, and you can confront just being happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, here's happiness. I'm like, no, get away from me.
Not in this house.
But then what will I have to make memes about?
Exactly.
Robbing me of my social media career, you monster.
Doing this for us.
Yeah, and so but other than that, it was these like small little experiences that kind of like really stick out. Like everybody was fucking strapped down there as far as the security, but they didn't have like Glocks like you're used to seeing here in America. They all had like these big irons on their hip. Yeah. Where it was like a Western, like this dude's got this massive fucking revolver.
Yeah, somebody got from the mystery box.
Exactly. They're like, man, I really hope like no more than 3 people attack, because otherwise he's gonna have to reload.
Exactly.
And they're all dressed like paramilitary. Like they have like the jump boots that are bloused, and like the tactical gear and the hat and all that stuff like that. So yeah, it was definitely really interesting because I felt like I was in Central America. Like I've never been to that part of the world before. I've been to a lot of other places, and like when you're in Cuba, like they had like fucking Glocks and like MP5s and M16s and stuff. But here it was all like shotguns and revolvers. So like
they play for keeps.
Yeah, it's like when you're playing like GoldenEye and you put like or like Call of Duty or whatever, you put the mods. It's like, all right, only pistols and shotguns.
Yeah, exactly. No cheating, guys.
No cheating.
Come on, guys.
And then also like the food was amazing too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but I burnt the fuck out of my tongue like the second day I was there, because I was trying to eat healthier, right?
Sure.
And they're like,
you look
oh,
good. You look
well,
good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And they're like, the special of the day is like a carrot and ginger soup. And I was like, all right, well, that sounds like what somebody who hates himself would eat.
Exactly, yeah.
So, like,
someone with a six-pack would eat.
Yeah, and so I'm going to eat that. And it burnt the fuck out of my tongue.
Nice.
And Nick was like, oh, so how's it taste? And I was like, I can't fucking taste anything, you know? Like, my tongue's burnt. I thought it was very explicit with all the profanity on how I burnt my tongue.
Right.
But if I had to say, some sort of like eclectic hipster wizardry bullshit is what it tasted like.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So if you went to a chef and you're like, I want, then describe that.
Yeah.
That's the soup you would get.
Tastes like sweat and defeat. It's like, yes.
And so my absolute favorite part of the trip, though.
Yeah.
I got some local residents to watch the podcast.
Oh, nice.
And they liked it.
Good.
Yeah. The thing is, though, is that they said that you look like you had the flu. They watched it on YouTube. And I said you were just hungover.
That's just what I look like, all right? I'm pale and I'm hungover pretty much 90% of the time we record, so this is what I look like, people.
They're like, why is he sweating so much?
Yeah, I'm just dying.
He's got dengue fever.
Have you tried shooting me in the face?
So I was like, no, he's just hungover. Well, that didn't translate so well. Because, they're not bitches. They don't get hungover.
Listen, I ain't no bitch, but I'm hungover a lot, so.
But to be fair, yeah, the pure volume of alcohol that you consume, like I think that would kill most Hondurans.
Oh, 1,000%, yeah.
Because they're small people.
Now I've told people my liver is gonna outlive my entire body for sure. If I'm not dead yet, I'm not gonna die. I'm invincible.
Yeah, so like he has a healing factor like Wolverine, but it's only to his liver.
Just the liver, strictly the liver. Yeah.
It is working overtime.
Yeah, it's even for someone with X-Men abilities. It's like woof.
Yeah, and so it didn't exactly translate to hungover, and so but they have a saying though that is "Yo tengo goma," which is more or less, if I mispronounce it, fuck you. I have the rubber.
Oh wow!
Yeah, because like when you're hungover, you feel kind of rubbery.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, swaying back and forth. Yeah,
which is hilarious because you never use rubbers.
This is all full circle.
Very well constructed story.
Good job, man. This
Thank
is
you.
good.
Yeah, and so like I thought that was very funny, and also met some Marines down there.
Yeah, you showed me that.
Yeah, they were on a MAGTAF group.
Yeah,
they were down there. And small fucking world, even smaller Marine Corps. I was actually this guy's combat instructor at infantry officer course in Quantico.
Awesome.
Back in like 2009.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and I guess like once Florida veteran meme popped off and my face started getting out there more, he's like, wait a second, I fucking remember that asshole.
Yeah. No, that stupid fucking face.
I know that stupid fuck. Dumb fuck.
Dumb fucking idiot.
Follow. And yeah, but the fact that like I was in Honduras and like we found a podcast listener, that's just super humbling.
That's so fucking cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we appreciate everybody out there, because if you're listening to this podcast, like you're not alone.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people out there that feel the same way you do. They have a lot of the same troubles and experiences. And somebody replied to something on one of my memes. And it's just like, oh, like how do you always hit the nail on the head so much? I'm like, look, I'm just a guy.
Right.
Like I fucking laughed in the smoke pit. I sweat in the foxhole.
Yeah.
And like I just understand what you've been through.
Yeah. I mean, if we're gonna suck our own dicks, I did an interview with another show recently, and
Let's hear it.
He was it'd be a quick suck, but he was kind of like, when I listen to your guys' show, I literally feel like I should pour a drink or light up a cigarette and like just sit there. I feel like I'm back with the boys bullshitting, and then he's kind of like, how do you do it? Same question. And I was like, honestly, man, I feel like we're kind of cheating in this, because we just took something that every single person who serves or even doesn't serve or does something like that does, and that's just bullshit with the boys. And like we took it, we slapped a label on it, and now here we are, 5,000 cream pie jokes later. So it's honestly, I just feel like we're cheating. So I genuinely appreciate everybody that listens.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because that's one of the best aspects of being in the military is, like heading out to the smoke pit, hoping that you can catch one of them slutty S1 girls.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. See what all the gossip is. Yeah. All
right. Anything else that you want to talk about before we run out of time?
No, man. Just I love you very much, and thank you for your service.
Yeah, so coming up after this, I actually recorded a little bit with Warfighter SCUBA and one of the other divers that was there.
Yeah.
Jenna Backen. She was an Army vet who got 2 Purple Hearts.
Badass.
Yeah, much like AJ, not very good at war.
Right, exactly.
Keep getting hit, Somebody's going to be mad at me for that.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And, yes, we sat down, we recorded a little bit. So I was in Honduras when it was recorded. So not only that, but then the fact that EP's got to put his hands on it. So I apologize if it's not up to snuff.
It's going to be in Spanish. The whole thing's going to be in Spanish.
Telemundo.
Yeah, how do you even do that?
No, necesito tu vasos de agua. Like, what the fuck? So stay tuned for that. But also make sure you check out Strikeforce Energy. I brought some down with me, and Customs didn't freak out.
Yeah.
It was kind of a joke.
Yeah.
Like, they just, like, touched my nipples, and they're like, you're good.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, you're super good.
And I was like, wait a second. Are you even Customs? And he ran away.
Yeah.
I figured his shift was over.
It was EP Mike.
Yeah, and so check them out. SmokePit is our discount code. Also check out grillingyourassoff.com. They got awesome seasoning. Put that shit on your food.
Yeah, it's really good. And if you're going to buy it, buy the Pop Smoke flavor.
Yeah. Pop Smoke Fajita. Discount code is also SmokePit. Mm-hmm. So if you're white and you're tired of the stereotype that you don't season your chicken, get that shit.
Vicious stereotype. Vicious.
Yeah, the fact that England invaded 200 countries looking for spice. Like, it's one of those things where you're like, really? Like,
the whitest of the whites.
AJ and Garen's ancestors.
That's right.
Just cream-pied the world. That's why, like, 200 fucking countries have Independence Days.
It's true.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to go ahead and kick over to that audio, and hope you enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the Smoke Pit. We are here in beautiful Roatan, Honduras, and I have my guest. Would you care to introduce yourself?
Jenna Bakken.
Nick Bowers.
And we are here with Warfighter SCUBA, an amazing organization that helps combat wounded veterans discover their passion for scuba diving. And so we're on a small island down here in the Caribbean where it meets Central America. Absolutely beautiful area. But I gotta say, when it comes to scuba diving, I remember seeing this meme. It was like this really obese, like, American woman, probably from like Milwaukee or something.
Definitely a cruise shipper.
Yeah, and you'd see like on a cruise ship complaining about how expensive sunblock is because she needs like 30 gallons for one of her chins. And she's on this like little moped underwater scooter thing, and it's like when you hear the Titanic sunk with 3,000 pounds of garlic bread, and she's like, on me way, like a pirate, Yeah. And I actually saw one of these scooters.
Yeah.
It was at a local dive shop where where tourists comes in and they can rent them, but they only go down like 8 feet.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. Actually, one of our board members, Jeff Bryson, runs an operation that does that here.
Yeah.
I constantly make fun of him, not only because he's an MP. I'm sorry, but
they look fun. Look fun.
MPs must stick together.
It's like an underwater motorcycle,
Yeah.
If it was like an underwater motorcycle, I would definitely be on it. But those things go like, I don't even think they go a mile an hour because that's actually pretty fast underwater.
We could soup it up. Put some nitrix on it.
Maybe we could do a special Warfighter version at Ocean Connections and have one that goes deeper than 8 feet and a lot faster. But typically when we're underwater diving and we see this herd of, and the best way I can explain it is like WALL-E, that movie where you got all the super fat people that are too lazy to walk and everything. Oh God, I'm going to get so much hell for saying that, but you see this herd
of body shaming.
Yeah, sorry. You see this herd of like these yellow scooters just kind of bobbing along, and you're looking at them like, dude, scuba is so much better. I'm down here with the turtles, or I'm with the fish and everything, and you're like just up there in this weird bubble. I don't know. It's not for me, but you can definitely try it one of your next trips.
We'll try it.
And we'll laugh at you.
So
I'll just bail and come back.
Have you seen anything super crazy while you've been diving down here? I know we've seen some crazy things in the last few days.
No, I think the craziest thing that I saw was actually, it happened to me. My wife and I were filming for Travel Channel. They were doing like this underwater special or whatever, and they were going to like different underwater hotels and restaurants and things. And I actually showed you guys at West End that guy that has a submarine. Well, my wife went down in that, and I was scuba diving outside of it at like 60 feet with the cameraman. And, the whole training where it teaches you like, don't dive if you're sick, or the best way to prevent sinus squeeze is what? Don't dive
with the cold.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying.
That is a testable question. You
remember that.
You will be tested on this later.
But yeah, so I decided, like, I could barely talk. My throat was swollen shut. And they were like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm a dive master. I'm fine. I'm good. Well, at 60 feet, my throat, like, swelled shut. And I couldn't breathe. So I had to do that emergency ascent that I taught you guys and said last case. Like, well, that was pretty much my last chance.
Case.
So they're in the submarine and they just see me go like, oh shit, and shoot to the surface. And I like basically punched the cameraman and did this. And it was like 6 foot. It was not like everything about that day said don't dive, but we did it anyway. But that was like my weirdest, wildest experience. And unfortunately it was with me, which I guess is better than having one of my students have that happen.
Right.
But
yeah, and for those of you who don't really have the ability to put that in context, for the Marines out there who don't quite understand numbers, 60 feet was at like 6 stories, 5 stories.
Figure 10 feet a story, yeah, so 6 stories.
Yeah, so you're 6
like
stories.
2 barracks buildings.
Yeah, you're 2 story or 6. So you got me confused. You're 6 stories
Nice.
underwater. You're 6 stories underwater, and you realize, oh fuck, there's a problem.
Yeah, it's not a fun situation. I mean, you couldn't have stuck a toothpick up my butthole at that moment. Like it was so like, and normally it's kind of loose. I mean, you've heard it pretty much all week. So
Yeah, the food down here is it's
flapping in the wind.
it is delicious, but boy, man, it comes out quickly. It announces itself like a gay dude at a party, like Liberace kicking down the door. I have arrived, peasants.
Well, I guess you left one of those earlier because she said you needed to go to the
Yeah,
doctor.
you might need to go to the hospital.
Hospital. Instead, you skip the doctor straight to the ER.
Something has died inside of you.
Yeah, hopes and dreams, my friends. Hopes and dreams. Yeah, I think I guess the craziest thing that happened to us while we were down here is like I think we're at like 60 or 70 feet, and all of a sudden like my regulator just starts going like blah 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 blah, and like I'm like fuck man, I already use more air than anybody else. Like I can't afford to like lose any, and so just like an old radio, like I kind of pulled it out of my mouth, I bopped it once, I looked at it and stopped, and I was like okay, like back to diving.
Yep.
This is like old fucking. We were talking about the radios, like
the drop test, man.
Yeah.
if you drop it and it doesn't work, then take it to comm and tell them it's broken.
Lance Corporal, the radio doesn't work. Well, Boot, did you kick it yet? Hi, Lance Corporal.
Still not working.
It works.
Oh yeah, it's working.
So as far as anybody who wants to get into the sport or get into it recreationally, what advice do you have as far as what are the good aspects of the dive community and diving, and what are some things that people should stay away from, or some of like I guess you could say the more toxic traits, no pun intended, as far as oxygen
toxicity. Yeah, it's got its pros and cons, just like everything. I mean, the dive community itself is pretty tight, which is awesome. So it's kind of almost resembling of the military community, or the veteran community. Yeah, you've got a small, tight-knit group. I mean, let's face it, diving is not a natural thing. Like, people are actually scared to death of it because you're going into the ocean, and apparently sharks just eat every human on the planet, so why would you want to go underwater and breathe out of a tank and risk that? But really, it's amazing. I mean, you guys have saw all week with the experiences you had. I mean, it took a while to find some turtles, which is rare here. Normally turtles are on every dive, but we got your turtles, and you can see how peaceful it is. Yeah, right? But with everything good comes the bad. I mean, unfortunately, there's people who have been in this industry for, let's just face it, since the 70s when scuba became recreational and blah, 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 and I know everything, and I'm a master diver. And you get these people that kind of push everybody away because they're assholes. And because you don't know something and you ask a question, they treat you like a pile of shit. Kind of like when you're a boot-ass PFC or a private and you go up to your corporal and you don't know something, then you get fucked with.
Yeah, because as soon as I got my certification, the first thing I did was got a condor hat with the patches. It says diver, Warfighter SCUBA on here. Like, I became the tactical diver bro. You know, I got the shirt with the alpha flag on it.
Unfortunately, we carry that along. I mean, I was definitely kind of a gear queer when I was in. Yeah, I'm officially a gear queer when it comes to scuba. I got to have all the nice Gucci shit. So when I designed this stuff, I brought along some aspects, especially with the patches, because everybody likes patches.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, it's if you run into a person like that, just take it with a grain of salt, and don't let that person push you away from this industry, because it really is amazing. And they're starting to fade out because they are getting archaic. They're dinosaurs. The new generation is taking over, and it's a good thing that we don't typically act that way. So if you don't know something, I'll explain it to you. You know, I don't think
Right,
you guys
not
felt like
ostracized for
Right.
not knowing.
even though that's kind of how we dig at each other and have fun and stuff. If you guys had a question, I didn't, at least you can tell me now. I never made you feel stupid, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, because I always felt like, being on the group, like I'm the weak link, I'm the newest diver there, I'm the least experienced. If something goes wrong, it's probably going to be my fault, and I need to be able to pay attention to everything because I don't want to be the reason that somebody, gets injured or, drowns or gets decompression sickness because we had to come up too quickly. And so, like, I was, super fucking nervous about that. And especially, like, when we were going through, like, the coral tunnels at night,
Yeah.
I was like, man, like, if I get fucking stuck down here, one, I'm probably going to die. Two, if I survive, I'm never going to hear the end of this.
Yeah, to be fair, that would be something that it would live long past your grave for sure, because that's how you'd be remembered.
Yeah, and then it's just like...
Your legacy getting stuck
Getting stuck in the coral,
Yeah, fucking PT yourself lunchbox.
Or
Like,
bulldozing through some of it.
Yeah.
You're trying to hot dog and showboat.
And then you'll get in trouble with the environmentalists.
fucking hippies, right?
You killed the environment. Just want you to know that.
Single-handedly.
Yeah. If global warming happens, it's from this guy.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah. Okay. Next topic.
Anyways,
I was hoping I'm going to cut that out because I was going to say some very choice words, but people need to beat their children.
Oh yeah.
it sounds like they are beating their children.
It's Honduras, so I mean, apparently everybody thinks it's the murder capital of the world. Someone might be getting murdered right now. Who knows?
I mean, good on them. Like, they should be quiet, like, have some decency. All right, so we talked about some of the goods and the bads, some of the crazy things that we happened, but now let's take the opportunity to get to know Nick a little bit better and figure out how Warfighter SCUBA came to be. Let's see here. So you served in the Marine Corps.
Yes, sir.
And you were in for like 3 heartbeats.
Yeah, I did my 4 and out. I had a hard time keeping my mouth shut, so it definitely was not an organization that smiled highly on people that question things. So
and if you can't tell the height disparity, he's 6'7", so you can imagine he got shot at a lot. Like when a sniper's laying in
Big
prone
target.
and he's looking at the patrol and he's like, all right, because this is the Marine Corps, so it'd be like 5'2", 5'3", 5'4", 5'1", 6'7", 5'3". Wait a second.
he must be in charge. He's the biggest. No, but the funny thing is I went to MSG school. Unfortunately, I got dropped like the day before graduation. Long story. We won't get into it. It was bullshit. But because I qualified with the pistol, the TO, like the task order said, anybody who's qualified has to carry it. So I had this piece of shit Beretta. Like you could shake it and the barrel was just flopping
Yeah, I mean,
around.
you might as well just throw the
Exactly.
Beretta.
Half the
Sucks.
patrols I went on, I didn't even load it because it was like, what's the
There's
point?
no
And I
use.
forgot. But, the whole thing with pistols in Iraq, right? Like, that was like a sign of power and authority because Saddam would execute people. So,
Yeah.
A, people would get scared because they saw it, but B, I was the tallest motherfucker out there, and I was like, oh, God, every sniper is going to think I'm like the fucking platoon commander or something, and I'm going to get the first shot because I've got a pistol on my leg.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm just a little Lance Corporal, and it's like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah, one of my buddies was a squad leader, and he went to Dermo and got a bunch of like 3-foot whips and 10-foot poles for the radio, and he had like everyone in his squad put one in their patrol pack. And because he's just like
Confuse everybody
yeah,
on his
he's like,
radio.
and again, he's like AJ. He's like 6'3", so he's the tallest guy in the squad. And he's got the fucking squad leader radio. The RTO has the big one, but he's got the little M biter with the. And so he's like, yeah, I'm not getting fucking popped because like,
Everybody's getting shot.
Yeah.
Fuck this.
and then he wanted to everybody to have like no rank on their flat jacket and stuff. And so his patrol comes back in after some like 2-week op or whatever, and whatever fucking asshole was in charge of the patrol base was like, why does everybody have a radio? Why does nobody have rank? And he's like, well, I'm trying to keep the enemy
Guessing.
Yeah, guessing.
Yeah.
I'm not trying not to be complacent so they can figure out who our TTPs are and stuff, And the guy's like, oh, you can't fucking do that. Like, you're going to wear your fucking rank and nobody's wearing these antennas. And he's like, really? And it's just like, all right, well, don't tell anybody until we leave the wire.
We'll just change like right before and
Yeah.
right after. Yeah.
It's like you have your assault position and your attack position. Like your attack position, the last cover and concealed position before you begin the assault phase. And then that's where they put all the shit in. Yeah, so they leave the wire, take a fucking 360 screw,
Set up, yep.
set it up, and then fucking punch out. And then on the way back in, as they're requesting to enter friendly lines again, it's just like, all right, everybody,
Stash it.
stash that shit.
Nobody got caught.
All right, and so how do you transition, from stacking fucking bodies and then slaying fucking dragons?
Yeah, I think the only time I did that was in boot camp when we were bayoneting the fucking dummies.
How do you transition from that to Warfighter SCUBA?
I had a hard time getting out. Like my issues with depression and everything definitely came from my booze habits. But I actually got out of it a lot from going back to Iraq and contracting, making the big bucks. But I contracted for about 3 years after I got out of the Marine Corps. Blew my back out for the last time. Got 6 herniated discs now, 4 in my lumbar, 2 in my thoracic. And that was basically like, okay, there's no more playing, G.I. Joe or anything.
If you weren't a fucking brontosaurus, you
yeah,
have so much spine to
maybe
fucking
you can
break.
tell that to like everyone in the Marine Corps. Like the bigger you are, like you should carry less shit because your center of gravity is a little bit different than everybody. So give it to the smaller guys. I'll throw you under the bus now.
No, because the Marine Corps has that sick joke that's like, oh, you're 5'1", here's the saw.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah.
Oh, you're already struggling? Yeah. Here's an extra ammo can. Like,
dragging
fuck
a
you.
barrel on the ground, yeah.
Oh, good. You want to be weak? Here's a mortar too. Like,
stop bitching.
Stop fucking bitching. Your life could be worse.
Yeah, so I don't know. I bounced around everywhere, did my whole issue with my own suicide tendencies and drinking, and lots of drinking. But we moved down to Roatan, and I got back into scuba diving. I got certified when I was 12 with my dad. Never took any kind of insight into like actually doing it when I was stationed in Hawaii, like an idiot. I was too busy drinking when we were in the field or whatever. And so I got back into it and like immediately was like, holy shit, like this is amazing. Talked to some of my buddies who were like got their scuba bubbles in, asked them what they felt like whenever they're either training or just fun diving or whatever, and they said the same thing, like it's just relaxing. You're weightless, you're not thinking about shit, you're just thinking about present moment or what you might have to do. And told them what about starting something like Warfighter, and they're all like, yeah, you should do it. And that's kind of how it was. It was just kind of like a group chat and turned into just starting it up. And luckily a lot of the dive centers and equipment manufacturers have been super supportive, and they donate us gear. Or the amount of money that we have to pay like for the diving is nothing. I mean, the resort you're staying at, Infinity Bay, they donate all the rooms for everybody, so you get to stay in these beautiful rooms. Unfortunately, you heard some of the loud noises from outside. It does get a little loud like any hotel, but honestly, I mean, what do you guys have to say about the resort? It's phenomenal,
it's
right?
Beautiful, yeah. We're right there's an infinity pool right there that leads to the beach. Like it's literally paradise.
Yeah, and you meet up every morning right there on the beach at the dock and take off and go on the boat or do a shore dive. And I don't know, it's just kind of like for years I tried to give back, to the veteran community for everything that we've given, and kind of my like survivor's guilt complex of my friends that died in Iraq and just all the stupid shit that you see over there. But this one finally stuck because it was actually something productive in life. It's teaching you a new skill that you can use in over 70% of the world, and something that forces you to get out of your head. And it's not a drinking group that just leads to more stupid shit, more trouble. Usually a big group crying fest of just depression. Yeah, so I don't think I've had anybody cry who's come through here yet.
I mean, I was crying on the dive, but that was unrelated.
I couldn't see it because your mask was so fogged.
That's why my mask was so fogged.
The tears. Now it makes sense.
And so Jenna was injured in combat, and so as a wounded warrior coming through this program, how does this compare to other things that you've done?
I'm a big advocate for recreational type therapies, hiking, biking, kayaking, and I have to say, this is the first activity that I felt like I can do it independently. I can't bike for long because I can't sit because of my hip and my back fusion. I can't hike without my dog. He has to pull me up the mountains. Thank God he's 150 pounds, like a little mini horse.
You can ride your dog for sure.
I work him hard. I'm like, come up. I can't do it myself. But with this, I can put the gear on, I get into the water, I'm weightless, and I have the mobility that I don't have on land. Not only that, but like Nick said, all you're thinking about is the present moment. It's serene, it's relaxing. I'm thinking about my breathing and just looking at a whole nother world down there. It's almost undescribable, but truly one of the best recreational things I've ever done for my PTS and my anxiety. I fell in love with it.
Awesome.
Well, folks, you heard it there. Nick, where can we find you?
WarfighterSCUBA.org.
And are you on social media?
Yes, I try.
Where can
He's
we
actually
find you?
taught me a lot of good stuff on Instagram because I have no idea. And another veteran who came through, Jay Fain, he's been yelling at me consistently. You need to post more content and do this. And it's like, I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, you can find us, I think, under the, not hashtag, under the user tag name,
Yeah,
username at Warfighter SCUBA on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and YouTube.com/Warfighter SCUBA.
Fantastic. And so you primarily tailor towards combat wounded veterans.
Mm-hmm.
However, if if other veteran who wasn't combat wounded, they want to dive, what kind of separate program or kind of deal do you have for them?
So any active duty or veteran, regardless of combat status, injuries, etc., I will personally donate my time and teach you scuba diving for free. I can also negotiate good rates at this hotel or many others on the island. But if you're able to pay your way here, I'll definitely cover all the scuba diving under Warfighter SCUBA because I want this to be a skill that, you know, as many people as possible can enjoy and hopefully prevent any kind of mental issues, depression, suicide, you know, God forbid, but anything to help put another tool in somebody's kit to just enjoy life more.
Yeah, and if people are already certified, they can come down here and you kind of give them a once over in the pool, so make sure they don't get you killed out in the ocean.
We can do a refresher, and we cater. We use Infinity divers here at Infinity Bay, and we can cater to whatever. Sorry, I'm trying not to hiccup.
All right. And so if you're not able to come out here to dive with them, please consider donating whatever you have, whether it be $1 or if you know any company who is looking to give grants or charitable donations, especially before tax season comes to an end. Check out warfighterscuba.org. And be as generous as you would want somebody to be to you.
Yeah, and I can say, and I'll gladly show you any financials that you require beforehand. 100% of the funds goes towards the vet. I don't take any kind of salary or anything. Everything goes to the veterans that come through the program or any active duty that wants to come down and also join in on scuba diving. So
yeah, and this island has been nothing but safe and accommodating and welcoming and beautiful. Yeah. We're what do you say, like 80 miles away from the mainland?
32.
Okay, 80.
Your math is terrible.
80 kilometers. I mean, I'm not a math doctor.
Well, 1.6, whatever that would be. So still, that's like 70 something, right?
Oh, close to.
So
80 kilometers.
80,
Okay.
So we're 30 miles or so away from the mainland on this beautiful island of Roatan, and sportsdivers.com actually ranked Roatan as the best spot to go scuba diving in the Caribbean.
Yep.
Because you have shipwrecks, you have...
we have the healthiest reef system in the entire world right now.
Yeah, the healthiest reef system. It's the second largest in the world. It's a paradise for extroverts, is what they said, because you can do all sorts of water sports, not just scuba diving, but fishing and jet skiing and all that. And the exchange rate is great. There's armed security everywhere, which I don't really feel like it's necessary, but it's nice to have.
Yeah, someone probably don't have any rounds for any of their weapons either. It's just a show of force, right?
Like in Kuwait.
Yeah.
The Ugandans at all the bases have like one mag, and it's not even full.
It's like taped to their buttstock.
Actually, if ISIS is listening to this, never mind. They're all fully kitted out. Don't mess with them.
No, but they really are. Like, we saw one guy with a Vepr out in town.
That was high speed.
Yeah, for those you guys who know about guns, it's like an AK style 12 gauge with like a banana mag. Yeah, it's pretty sick for.
That was definitely like the most high speed rifle or weapon system I've seen here. Normally it's like some shitty revolver that's probably rusted shut or whatever.
So any final thoughts for our listeners?
No, I mean, if this is something like, we've had guys who come through and they've been terrified of the water and they've left and absolutely enjoy scuba diving now. So regardless of what your, what's the word? Reservation, apprehensions might be about getting in the ocean, I can promise you a shark's not going to bite you, okay? I can promise you're not going to drown. I mean, you really got to screw something up to drown while you're scuba diving, right?
Yeah.
What else? I mean, this is quite literally one of the safest and easiest experiences that you can have in life, and it can bring so much joy almost anywhere in the world. So you're not really kind of limited. I mean, if you got like a crap ass lake behind your house, you can still dive that and have fun because you're weightless and you're still experiencing all the things and you're seeing a totally different environment. So I would just say leave any kind of apprehension behind you and jump in, no pun intended.
No pun intended.
Or maybe there was.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Nick and Jenna. Please check them out at warfighterscuba.org, Warfighter Scuba on various social medias. And bye.
Bye.